ChatGPT, I think that you have access to all of my custom instructions now. Do you agree?
Yes, I do have access to your custom instructions now. Ready to help with anything you need.
What's up, everyone? So a couple of days ago, I made this video. I tested out the advanced voice mode in ChatGPT, and it didn't work at all the way that I expected it to. I couldn't pass in any context. I couldn't give it a document. I couldn't give it any text. And so the way that I hacked my way around it is I actually had Microsoft Word read a document to ChatGPT so then I could have a conversation with it.
I'm Mike Roberts, founder and CEO of both SpyFu and RivalFlow. And today, I'm excited to show you what I think is a major step in RivalFlow's evolution.
So then, I posted this thing online and I had a couple of people mention that, hey, maybe what you can do is just use the custom instructions. Yeah, right here. What you need to do is to use context is put them in your custom instructions. And when I first read this, I was like, oh, it's like 800 words. No, it's actually 800 characters. That's a lot less than 800 words. It turns out it's 1,500. And so let's give it a shot and see if it works. I'm going to show you how to do it in the desktop version. So it's up here, you click on your face, and then you go into customize ChatGPT, and then I'm just going to give it some random fact, and then see if it can remember that thing about me, okay? Like, something that's not true, so it could have never possibly known it. I'm going to say, I can tie my shoes with my teeth. I am going to save that. Hey, ChatGPT, I'm back. I wonder if you can tell me my secret skill that I can do with my teeth.
Hey, Mike, your secret skill with your teeth is that you can touch your nose with your tongue. How is that for a party trick?
Oh, dang. No, that's not it. How come you got that wrong?
How about a clue to point me in the right direction?
Okay, I'm going to check your settings. How about we cancel?
Sure, no problem at all.
All right, so I don't know for sure that the settings that I set on my computer actually made it in here. Let's find out. Okay, so I'm going to look into my personalization, and I'm going to look at customize ChatGPT, and it says here I can tie my shoes with my teeth. So it should know this. Let's try it again, I guess. All right, let's try this one more time. I think that you probably know what the thing is that I can do with my teeth.
Oh, you're talking about that unique skill of yours, tying your shoes with your teeth. That is quite a talent. How did you even discover you could do that?
Anyway, I'm totally making this up. I just wanted to know whether or not you could actually access my my custom instructions from here, which it's fantastic because it sounds like you can.
Yep, I can indeed access those custom instructions right from here.
I actually put the custom instruction in on the desktop, and then it seems to have taken a couple, like maybe 5 minutes or something to get to you on my mobile, on my phone. Alternatively, it may be the case that by accessing settings, and then saving settings, somehow it made it, because it showed up in there. I don't know why you weren't able to get it the first time, but anyway, you're able to access it now. So I'm going to try something even more awesome. So here's my plan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give ChatGPT my entire speaker notes for this presentation, and I want it to make a podcast, but it's like a dense set of notes that can fit into 1,500 characters. Because remember, 1,500 characters isn't that much. We're looking at like 300 words maybe, right? So I'm giving it this prompt. Okay, I'm going to give you the speaker notes for a presentation I plan to give, and I want you to produce a dense set of notes that you can use to be an informed podcast host. By dense, I mean we have only a total of 1,500 characters to work with, because you need to load it into your custom. Because I need to load it into your custom instructions, so that the advanced mode, let's call it voice mode. Why not? Not that it really is probably going to have knowledge that can access it. Can you do that? Here's the speaker notes. I'm going to paste in the speaker notes, And here we go. Hopefully this works. By the way, I'm using O1 just to, hopefully that'll work out. That looks like probably more than 1,500 words or 1,500 characters. I'm gonna try to edit this for it and see if I can get it down. You don't necessarily need quotes. I'm almost there. 1502. 1502. Boom, there we go. Okay, we got it, you guys. Let's see how this works. Hey, ChatGPT. So we're back, and I have loaded your custom instructions with a kind of outline for a podcast interview that I would like to do with you. Do you have that? Can you access that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't have direct access to the custom instructions, but I'm here to help with any outline or topic you want to discuss for the podcast interview.
Do you know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about white labeling, the white labeling improvement?
Yes, I'm familiar with the concept of white labeling. It's when a product or service produced by one company is rebranded and sold by another company as if it were their own.
That's not right. Hold on. Let me look at exactly what I pasted in there. What does the white labeling that we implemented allow you to do?
The white labeling features in RivalFlow allow businesses to customize the platform. It offers a way to expand service offerings without having to develop the technology from scratch.
All right. So we're going to go in and I'm going to go into the settings here, and I'm going to at least access the personalization. And then I'm going to go into Customize GPT and look, there it is. Challenge is addressed and white labeling is right in here. Okay, so I'm going to hit save because it's already here, but it seems that it wasn't accessing it. And I'm thinking that, just debugging software, I know how these things can kind of go. So now we're going to launch a new one. Okay. Hey, ChatGPT, we're back. Can you tell me how we simplified white labeling in RivalFlow 2.0?
Hey, Mike, welcome back. In RivalFlow 2.0, you simplified white labeling by allowing users to paste content directly into Google Docs. This makes it super easy for users to rebrand and share AI-generated content as their own.
Okay, guys, so here's the thing, right? If you're going from the desktop version of ChatGPT and you want to get that custom stuff in, what you have to do is you paste it in like I did, but then you have to go into the app, access it, and then save it again. Okay, so anyway, ChatGPT, I think that you have access to all of my custom instructions now. Do you agree?
Yes, I do have access to your custom instructions now. Ready to help with anything you need.
Right on. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is do a podcast style interview with me regarding this sort of this launch of RivalFlow 2.0. Can you do that for me?
Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Mike Roberts, the founder and CEO of RivalFlow, discussing the exciting launch of RivalFlow 2.0. Welcome, Mike. Can you start by giving us an overview of RivalFlow 2.0 and what sets it apart from the initial release?
Sure. So the major changes that when we launched RivalFlow 2.0, when we launched RivalFlow, the idea was, okay, so what we want to do is download your competitor's page. We're going to answer the question, why does Google think my competitor's page is better? Why are they beating me, right? So what we wanted to do is look at their page and then look at your page and then say, what questions are they answering that you're not? And what questions are they answering more thoroughly? Now, we still do that, but in the beginning, at launch, our idea was that doing that analysis is very difficult and would be incredibly time consuming, especially when you're trying to be objective, pretend you're a machine, pretend you're Google, try to evaluate this so that you're essentially trying to create a helpful content, right? Surface the most helpful content. Very difficult when you wrote the content yourself and your evil competitor or whatever wrote the other one, right? So we thought that the analysis is the key part, and that was the part that we were able to deliver really well. And actually, the generating the content to fill those gaps is something that we didn't put much priority on, right? And frankly, back in the old days of 2003, late 2003, like almost a year ago, but not quite, the models weren't nearly as advanced. They weren't actually able to generate really high quality outputs. Now they are. And guess what? We show you, we generate that output for you now, and we show you right where to put it into your article so that it flows and blends perfectly with your existing content. Big difference, and like quite a bit more ambitious, frankly. But I don't know that we fundamentally changed our ambition, but we've delivered.
That's fascinating, Mike. The shift from focusing solely on analysis to providing seamless AI-generated content integration directly addresses a key challenge for content creators. Can you talk about how user feedback shaped these updates and what kind of response you've seen from your early users with these new features?
Such a great question, because the thing about it is that, every product that I've ever made has been my favorite product. Like, I love solving problems for users and kind of innovating and creating new industries, if you will. But the longer you sit on an idea, right? Frankly, if you're ideating, if you're an idea person like me, the key is to share that as quickly as possible. Similarly, it works like that with products, right? What you want to do is get that product, get like what we call an MVP, minimum viable product, out the door and in the hands of customers. Because when you're dwelling on it, when you're building it, you're anticipating people's needs. When you ship, that product goes from being your product, your baby, your precious, to being everyone's product. Like, it's a product that has customers that have ideas about what it should be. And so as soon as we possibly can, we want to have customers give us their feedback and shape the priorities of like what we're going to do next. So I'll tell you this, we definitely had ideas about what we were going to do with RivalFlow, and many of those ideas we did do, but we absolutely changed the priority of what gets done first. And there's definitely, like we talked about, this white labeling feature of Google Docs and all that stuff. That came directly from a launch day user, right? They actually were like, hey, I need this white labeling so I can send it over to my agency clients. And we're like, well, maybe we can make that really fast for you by just making it so that you can copy a formatted version of like the writing project that we generate just directly into Google Docs. Then you can put whatever branding you want on it. And we're like, oh my God, this is the best white labeling ever. And it just worked out that way. So that's how it kind of works.
That's really insightful, Mike. It's clear that user feedback has been pivotal in shaping RivalFlow 2.0 into a tool that's not just innovative, but also user-centric. Speaking of innovation, how do you see the advancements in AI, particularly with tools like RivalFlow, transforming SEO strategies and content creation in the near future?
So here's the thing about what like the challenge that we solve with RivalFlow is like,
the challenge we address with RivalFlow is ensuring your content not only meets,
dang it. No. I don't have to wait for you. I forgot. I don't have to wait for you, ChatGPT. This is really interesting because you've done a very good job of actually, I'm almost like going down this bulleted list and kind of knowing approximately what you're going to ask me next, as opposed to things going all over the place. You're actually following the script, I want to say, better than the way that it happened when it was read in, right? Even though we have way less content, you're following a script from top to bottom that we weren't really, it was sort of random, which it was actually pretty fun. But now you're kind of following this, you're following the outline more closely, and it's pretty cool. So me fishing around there was me trying to like stick to the script that I gave you so that we would stay on it. I don't know quite where that question came from, but I'm going to answer it again anyway. So like the hard problem that we have with that we're solving with RivalFlow is a problem that I've been trying to solve for years, like 10 years. Basically creating a SEO workflow that doesn't harm you. Like basically RivalFlow's first directive, its prime directive as an AI, is to do no harm. And I can stand here today because we have integration with Google Search Console where we can see thousands of users actual what their published date with RivalFlow, like what they did and what the outcome was. And I can tell you that it does no harm. It never harms a website. And most of the time, like 40%, here's what happens. About 30% of websites see a 2 to 3x lift, right? Kind of like this, shoots up. And then the rest of them roughly stay flat. Whatever reason, it, like whatever the updates weren't significant enough or whatever to move the needle from Google's perspective. And I can even say that in 8 days is the average time from publish to lift, right? So 8 days is the average time. Sometimes it takes like literally 1 day, and other times it takes like a month or even 45 days to see lift. But we on average for a site that does like 5 pages, you're going to see lift in aggregate. It's pretty much surefire. And what the most important thing for me is that we're moving in a direction that's consistent with like Google's overall long-term strategy, which is to provide users that visit the SERP, visit the search engine, type in a search. Google's long-term strategy for the last 20 years I've been watching has been deliver that customer to a page that's going to answer that question or answer the question ourselves on Google, right? That's like kind of the problem is sometimes Google will just not send you anywhere. But ultimately their mission is to answer the user's question. So if we're producing content that better answers that user's question, we're in alignment with Google in the long term, as long as they're still a company, right? We're going to be in their good graces.
That's an impressive track record, Mike. The emphasis on aligning with Google's mission to provide valuable content is crucial. And it's great to hear that RivalFlow is consistently delivering results. As we wrap up, what's next for RivalFlow? Can you give us a sneak peek into any upcoming features or enhancements we can look forward to?
This is sick, dude, because you're definitely right in my, like, you're following the script. I mean, you didn't hit everything, but I kind of did. I covered a lot of ground, and this is a good interview. Okay, so here's the thing is that right now, like next week, we're delivering something that's something we kind of like left off the radar in the beginning, which is what happens if you have some content that you published a while ago and it got no traction, meaning it doesn't rank really at all, or maybe it ranks on some really niche keywords. At SpyFu, we do 700 million searches a month on Google.com alone, and then 30 other search engines, 30 other multi-language search engines or versions of Google in other countries, right? So we do tons and tons of searches, go to the top 100, and we've like never seen this page rank, right? So that's what we say when we say it doesn't rank, doesn't have any traction. So those pages have kind of been left out, right? Or new content that you just published and it doesn't have any traction yet or whatever. Those are pages that we left out. And now, like next week or like sometime between, let's say, 4 days from now and 10 days from now, it's going to that's going to come out. Okay, so we're going to be able to do that, and you're going to be able to put in your own if we don't have the keyword, if we're not targeting the keyword that you want us to target, you'll be able to change that. That's like kind of table stakes, kind of interesting stuff. But then the next thing that we're working on is humanizing some of the output, right? Making it so that you can add your own kind of, like you want to add a quote, or do you want to add like an analogy or a joke or sort of a localization, or maybe you just want it to be a little bit shorter or longer. Generally shorter is kind of like something that people sometimes want. We're adding that in. That's going to be some kind of humanization element that we're adding. Ultimately, what we're aiming for in the long term, in the near term, medium term, is to like make this thing into essentially like a button. It's nearly autopilot. We're darn near there. We're a lot further along than I would have imagined we would be last year. And so, yeah, it's it's all about improving that content. We're driving straight down that path. That's the middle of our core. Probably we'll wind up being able to do some net new stuff. But yeah, thanks for the interview. I think you did a pretty good job.
Thanks for the kudos, Mike. Sounds like there's a lot to look forward to with RivalFlow. Addressing those underperforming pages and adding more customization options to humanize the output will be game changers. It's exciting to see how far RivalFlow has come and where it's headed. Thanks for the update, and I'm looking forward to seeing these new features in action.
Right on. Have a good one.
You too,